It's a Friday night in the Big Smoke, and it's all about the hoops with another huge doubleheader coming your way on Sky Sport. It's been a slow start for the Southern Hoiho, and tonight they take on the red-hot Northern Kahu. Is there an upset in the making, or will it be win number 5 for the Kahu? No mai haramai, hello and welcome. GJ Gardner Holmes, Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa. Great to have you with us. Round 3 is underway. And a doubleheader here tonight at Eventfinda. Justin Nelson with you, sitting right alongside me, Casey Frank. We're in for the long haul tonight, but you've got to love Friday night hoops on Sky Sport.
No, there's nothing like it. Bundle up, get some warm in your cuppa, and get ready for some action that is going to be nonstop for, I don't know, next five of the next 6 hours or so.
Well, I am looking forward to it. Of course, we had a big doubleheader in the capital last night with the Pauakai getting up over the Queens, the Saints over the Hawks. Here is the ladder in Tauihi at the moment. And as you can see, Kahu flying high. Hoiho at the moment, a slow start to the season. Yeah, they've been struggling to score. That has not been the Kahu's problem. But perhaps tonight is when somebody figures out that how to slow down the Kahu team. Well, they do have a couple of outs, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. Let's have a look at the games still to come in round 3. It's as busy as always. Pauakai and the Phi Sunday afternoon. That will be a very good matchup. The Phi back in action against the Kahu. Looking forward to that. A bit of a northern battle there Tuesday night, 7 p.m. And then Wednesday night is when round 3 comes to a close. The Hoiho back in action, taking on the Queens from the Edgar Centre in Dunedin. Busy times indeed. Let's have a look at the starters for this one. Friday evening basketball on the North Shore. Dugan O'Neill, Gallagher, Snyder and Cheslick. Lena Schneider, one of only 2 players in the Tauihi, averaging a double-double per game this season. Keep an eye on her tonight. Charles Nix is still away back in Australia. Filling in admirably in the coaching shoes is Nat Vizga. Here she is.
Well, Coach, you're coming into the undefeated Kahu's home court, and they're led, of course, by Talia Tupaya. How do you hope to slow her down and her scoring prowess?
Yeah, well, she's leading the league, right? She's a tough guard. Try to limit her touches, and then when she does get it, we have to help early to just get it out of her hands and hope, make someone else score. So if we can hold her just a little bit under her average, I'll feel good about that.
In the first matchup with the Kahu, your leading scorer, Lena Snyder, was held in check, well below her season average, over 20 points. How do you hope to get her a few more free looks tonight?
Well, we've adjusted since then. We've had a few games, and Lena's got hers. It's nice to have Shelby. We've kind of played through Shelby a little bit as well. But we need another player to step up to put herself in double figures to give Lena a bit more room. So we'll just keep running what we have, emphasizing, getting her the ball through our sets.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks very much for your time, Coach.
Let's have a look at the home team for this one here tonight. The Kahu, they've had a wonderful start to the season. Talia Tupaya, what a start she's had. She's leading from the front. She's got a deep bag of tricks, and on any occasion she can pull it out. But well supported by Michaela Cox. And Madison Wolf has been manning the middle quite admirably. Crystal Ledger-Walker, Jazz Kalahi-Falu also starting tonight. No Tara Reid, no Mate Grays. We'll tell you why in a moment. Here's Jody Cameron.
Coach, you've had a game in here just 48 hours ago. That's not much time for recovery. How are you traveling coming into this one?
Not too bad. We've got good depth, so we've lost Mate at this stage. We're just resting her with a rolled ankle the other night, even though she bounced back out of it. Just a precaution thing, but otherwise, we're solid on the depth, and we're looking forward to the game tonight.
Well, looking at your opponents, the Hoiho, their leading scorer, Lena Snyder, you guys were able to keep in check on the last game out, 4 for 21, but she averages over 20 points per game. How are you going to slow her down this evening?
We've just got to keep adjusting. We've done our scouts on her, and she's getting better at the way people play here in New Zealand. But we've done our scout, and we've got a few people that are lined up to, try and keep her to that low score that we kept it to. We want to repeat.
Sounds like a plan. Appreciate the time, Coach. Thanks very much.
To the season for Coach Cameron, and as she alluded to there, Mate Gray's out with an ankle injury. I can tell you also, Casey, that Tara Reid will not be playing tonight. She is away ill. So that is a couple of big outs for the top team, and maybe the door is ajar and there's an opportunity here for the Hoiho to get their opening win of the season.
Now, certainly more open than it was with those 2 players. suited up. That affects their depth most certainly, especially down low. Is this the game that Chelsea's able to go off and really take advantage of a little bit less big lumber up front for the Kahu to contend with?
Let's have a look at the head-to-head, and it all points the way of the Kahu. Points for the amount of times they get to the Resine is impressive. That is a big stat there and leading the league, and their shooting is above that of the Hoiho.
Well, the Kahu in their last game against the FI scored 14 points in the first quarter, 10 of those from the free throw line. So when things aren't going well, that's where they go. They get to the Resine stripe. We see the field goal percentage that Kahu have been lifting up. The Hoiho still struggling offensively. They've been on the cusp of really finding something good getting together. They do, of course, need to be led by Lena Schneider, but the way Samara Gallagher has played at times, this could be the game they finally go off.
Well, they have already met once this season, and that was a real scrap, it must be said. The Hoiho 46 went down to the Kahu 50, so just a 4-point margin. There's our officials for this one tonight: Sharon Martin, Danielle Kuj, and Sasha Nicholson. Our referee's doing an extraordinary job at the moment with all of these games because they are travelling just about as much as us, and that's saying something.
Hey, Malcolm Gladwell gave you the 10,000-hour theory. They should all be experts in it now. The amount of games that they've had to get through it, they are getting better and better with each game because of the work, and always appreciate their efforts.
We talked about that opening game when they played each other down in Dunedin. It was such an arm wrestle. As I said, Kahu getting home by 4. Tapaya, 23 points in that game. Sammy Gallagher had 19 points in the game for the Hoiho. They were the only two players in double digits. The shooting was not a strength for either team. Hoiho shooting at 22%, Kahu at 25%, and it led to, wait for this, it led to 103 rebounds in that game.
That's not bad. that is good stats to get those rebounds pumped up. You like that many opportunities. But in this second matchup, I expect a higher efficiency from both squads. The Hoiho have to be really aware of the Kahu's ability to get off early in the game. A bit of a different lineup for them. I expect it to be a little bit quicker, especially in transition from what we've seen earlier this year.
A Friday night battle in Tauihi, and there's a lot of blue out there.
A lot of blue. I guess we're getting ready for a little bit of a bluey.
Looking forward to it. We're underway. The Kahu are in the dark blue. The Hoiho are in the light blue. And the opening possession of the game will go the way of the home team, the Kahu. Michaela Cox, what a storied career. Caught up with her before the game, had a good long chat, of course. We do know each other from back in our WNBL days. Her days are continuing in the WNBL. Maybe, I hope so. Now there's
Jazz Kilahi flew with a big screen as Samara Gallagher was flying at it. And I think she took a knee to the quad there. That's going to tighten up as if she sits down for long. But the key is to keep moving until after the game, and then worry about recovery later. But the second she sits down, that's going to get pretty tight.
I do like the fact that she was smiling the whole time, though.
she tends to do that. She finds a lot of joy in the game.
I'm going to give you some stats on Michaela Cox in a moment, Casey. Quite staggering. Keep an eye on her tonight. Here's Schneider looking to get inside. Receives it back. That's a hard pass to take from Tori Dugan.
Tough angle. Got to hit Chelsic up top for the high-low. That's a much easier entry pass from that angle.
It'll be interesting to see tonight how the Kahu just shuffle things up a little bit. In fact, they've turned it over here on the inbound. And opening points of the game, Dugan and Schneider working together. The Hoiho out by 2.
Poor recognition by the Kahu teammates of Crystal Ledger-Walker there. You got to come back and help her out. She's double teamed, no help. Somebody's got to get on the other side of half court.
Just the way that they'll change things, the Kahu tonight, without Reed and also Grays.
Well, great start for the Hoiho. Solid defensively. That's 2 turnovers forced already. They did have the turnover themselves, but immediately made up for it. They looked focused and locked in defensively in particular.
Here's Dugan, the West Australian. Puts it back to Schneider. Got Wolf off the floor. Just didn't get the roll. Back the other way. Another turnover. So
3 possessions, 3 turnovers. That is not a good start.
Some good early work from the Hoiho. Missing the shot there, Gallagher.
Hoiho are a tremendous defensive team, as we see. Talia Tupaya let it fly from deep. First shot is good, unsurprisingly.
21 points a game for Talia Tupaya, and she starts by showing us that shooting form straight away tonight.
Kahu are really pushing the pace when they don't turn it over. Wolf inside with strength, can't get it to drop.
Just a point in it early.
Snyder coming up a little slowly there. She's a little ginger at half court. Looks like she might have strained something.
There she is now. Hard to the basket.
Oh,
great drive by Dugan.
Really good, strong drive, but the counterattack's coming back very quickly for the Kahu.
Here's Ledger Walker. Loves to roll the shorts up, Crystal Ledger Walker.
Makes you quicker, I'm sure.
She's leading that fashion drive at the moment as Wolf on the right-hand hook is a little bit too deep. Early stages. The Southerners by 1. North versus South battle. Gotta love it in the Tauihi. Here's Gallagher. Great hesitation dribble. Just open up that lane to the right, and she went all the way to the hoop.
Well, good screen by Snyder, and Wolf so concerned about Snyder's scoring ability. She stays connected, but no help in the paint to deter that driving layup.
Hoiho out by 3. Tupaya here. Here she goes to the basket, and that was too easy in the end for a player the class of Talia Tupaya.
Used the change of speed so well there. Froze Chelsick. She left the double team, and she instantly goes in her wake for the layup.
Schneider now looks to pull up, goes to the corner. Dugan inside, good pass, good patience, good finish by Lena Schneider.
Well, the Kahu are looking a little out of sorts defensively, but the Hoiho are taking advantage with good, quick plays. And Fulu with her second illegal screen of the game. And Tori Dugan a little bit the worse for wear for running into her on that one.
She's inflicting some pain with it as well. She's just stepped over to help Dugan back to her feet.
Well, I'm not even sure that was a purposeful screen by Kelahi Fulu. I think she was just sort of cutting through, and Dugan on pressuring the ball. Didn't hear a call from her teammates. That may not have come, but didn't really see that screen in the vicinity. Because of it, she's a little bit the worse for wear.
Well, she's a tough little guard too.
You gotta be. If you're gonna be coming in small, you gotta be coming in with some toughness.
Oh, I like that from the 6'7" Casey Frank sitting beside me.
Hey, if you're gonna be coming into the paint, you're gonna pay the price.
Turnover.
And that's 6'8". Come on now.
6'8". Sorry, I was about to say if I shortchanged you there.
Unbelievable.
You do know that you shrink as you get older. You know that, don't you?
I think
you're going to end up at about 5'6".
Like all other exploits in my life, they only get better with age.
Oh, great. Let's see if the Kahu can respond here. That one in and out.
Ash Kemmer missed that one, but she was huge down late in the win against the Fi a couple nights ago.
They may get it back. They do. Away to Paya. She'll go in hard on the left.
Oh.
That one misses.
Bit of contact. I think she was expecting the foul. Like the way she was involved in the passing lane. Staying aggressive, but needs to convert that one.
Midway through the first. Zoe Richards out on the floor battling with Ash Kelman-Poto. They have locked horns plenty of times over the years, and here is Zoe Richards. Right on cue, keeping it alive, and with the 2, Shelby Cheslick, her first points of the game.
Cheslick's showing some nice range, but the find from Zoe Richards after the offensive rebound is what created the opportunity.
Good to see Ash Kelman-Poto back on court, returning from injury over the last 12 months.
Oh, too easy. Too easy. Splitting the double team with ease. She is lightning quick with that first step and deadly from mid-range.
She has all 7 points for the Kahu to start the game, does Talia Tupaya.
She knows how to fill it up. She, I think above everyone else in the competition, really has a knack for knowing when buckets are needed and finding a way to either get it into the cup or get herself to that Rosine stripe.
Here's a nice little jumper from Moana Breen. Comes up short. Talia Tupaya out of Western Sydney, Penrith. 2017 WNBA draft, pick 36 to the Minnesota Lynx. She made her pro debut at just 15 years of age. Tapia. Here's Michaela Cox. In the end, putting it over the top of the ring. Battle for it in the corner. Look at Zoe Richards.
Is that a foul called or was that out of bounds? Out of bounds, so we're just going to have 4. Did they reset the shot clock? Oh, that shot clock should be down at around 4.5 seconds.
Interesting to see if they fix that, because
I don't think anybody's noticed on the Hoiho, so the Kahu are now going to have an extra 10 seconds to put the ball in the bucket this possession.
And the Michaela Cox shot definitely went straight over the top of the ring. Here's Tapia. What a start she's had tonight. Look at that.
Well, a great move. Doesn't get the finish, but she is looking for those advantages in the one-on-one game, and you abusing them right now.
She's set for a big one tonight, isn't she?
It's all about the defense for the Kahu, though. They really need to convert those stops into buckets on the other end.
Moati Breen finds Richards in the corner. That effort just short. And away come the Kahu. Here's Kelman Poto. Tapia inside. Back to Kelman Poto on the turn. Good basket for the Kahu.
Tapia doing everything offensively, facilitating now as well. The defenders are paying so much attention to her. She gets that over the top pass, and here's the stop almost. She is a demon in this first quarter.
Just getting back to Talia Tapia, made her WNBL debut in Australia in 2012. Second youngest ever player on debut in that competition. That's a tough competition. 15 years and 133 days. There she is, Tapia. Had a career high 29 points in the Aussie WNBL against the Melbourne Boomers in 2015. And I remember that night very, very well, because I was with the Boomers at that time.
Now, you never forget the ones that really stick it to you.
Yep. She's been a star for many years now, Tapia, and she started on fire tonight. Michaela Cox, speaking of stars, is off to the Racine line.
Lightning quick first step with that little jab, feinting towards the on ball, and instantly, bang, see that feint, comes the other way, and look at the body control to avoid the defender. Moate Breen there trying to take the charge, but that sidestep enables her to take that contact and still get to the Racine for the first make. She, of course, coming off a 27-point ball game in which she was really dominant in all facets against the Phi.
Star for the Tall Ferns, of course. The 36-year-old from Takapuna. She could have almost walked here today. Has won 6 medals, 5 silver and 1 bronze with the Sky Sport Tall Ferns in a glittering career, Michaela Cox. And she gives the Kahu the lead by 1. Here's Snyder. Kestrup. Moati Breen's been involved in everything since coming on for Tori Dugan. That one is partially blocked.
Well, after some early struggles defensively, the Kahu have shut things down there, absolutely not letting Elena Snyder get any looks whatsoever. Hoiho got to find a way to get her the ball in scoring positions.
Here's Cox again. Nearly turned it over. Keeps it alive, though.
Down to 5 on the shot clock.
Tapia's going to go here. And will get all the way to the basket. Did everything but finish.
Well, that's 3 great drives that she had that she hasn't quite been able to get it in the cup. As good a night as she's having, it could be even better.
Snyder here. Richards with the long attempt. In fact, it was Nicole Rusk. Great to see Nicole Rusk back in action. Here's Berry. Working hard. Olivia Berry. There's a foul here off the ball. I think it might be Zoe Richards.
Yeah, a little bit of contact in there between herself and Ash Kelman-Poto. That good for the Kahu, as it looked like a shot was going to be a bit of a struggle to get up in the short amount of time allowed. Instead onto the baseline out of bounds, where they tend to get a lot of open looks. Straight out of this high screen for either Cox or Talia Tapia. Cox will set that coming across shortly.
Here's Olivia Berry. Michaela Cox just off balance when she passed the ball, and that allowed Lena Schneider to chip in. She goes to work in the paint, surrounded by Kahu players, and in the end, a foul against Talia Tapia.
Huh? I gotta say, that's a tough foul. She looks like she got 2 hands on the ball, is ripping it out. Let's see where's the call being made. Oh, goodness. Well, Talia Tupaya is a better player than me for not arguing that one.
A little bit hard from our vantage point, given the players had their backs to us, but that's the bailout, by the way. Big shot by Lena Schneider with the triple. And she is one player that the Kahu do not want to see get going, averaging 17 points and just under 11 rebounds a game. As I said in the intro, Casey, just one of two players in the Tauihi averaging a double-double. Question is, do you know the other one?
Is it Trinity Baptiste?
No. Olivia Berry, great up fake.
Is it Nikki Green?
It is Nikki Green, well done. Schneider, fantastic pass to set up Dr. Bronwyn Kestrup.
Well, nice run. Snyder doing it all early. The 4-point lead for the Hoiho. They've got to be feeling confident right now. Off to a start on the home court of the undefeated Kahu.
Here's Berry, steps back to her right, goes up strong. Nearly got the roll. Keeping it alive, Tupaya. Calls out Ash Kelman-Pottor, goes to work again. Slick pass inside, that was a bullet. Kelman-Pottor couldn't complete the job.
Well, they're creating great offense. As the Hoiho missed that layup, Zoe Richards in transition. If I'm Coach Cameron, I'm feeling pretty pleased with what we're doing. Beautiful pass there. Look at Talia Tupaya with the no-look, hitting the streaking Ash Kelman-Pottor down the middle. One stop, they might be able to tie it up.
Speaking of passes, Snyder finding Richards, who's heavily fouled. You did say chance that it was going to be a big blue tonight. There's been some heavy contact through this first quarter.
And not afraid to lay the wood are the Kahu here in the first quarter, setting excellent hard screens. And if you're going to go up for that layup, if you're going to get that foul, might as well make it a good one. As Madison Wolf checks back in for Ash Kelman-Pottor.
Tupaya, 7 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, a steal, a triple. She's been involved in everything early in this game.
Kahu's just shooting 4 for 14, though, and I believe there's about 5 missed layups that really could have very easily dropped in. So they're looking at a 3-point deficit right now in a game that Coach Cameron will let them know at quarter time they really should be up in.
Zoe Richards converts that second from the Racine line. Dying seconds of the first quarter, doubleheader action tonight on Sky Sport. Tuatara and the Sharks to come. What a setup by the Kahu. There to finish it off, Gabriella Adams-Gavitt.
That is beautiful offense there. Excellent entry pass to Wolf, who then drops it off the no-looker to Gabby Adams-Gavitt with a good finish.
Last shot of the opening quarter. Schneider draws the foul off to the Racine. And a chance to put the Hoiho out by 3.
Well, it looked like Schneider had that one behind, and Wolf got a hand to the ball, but a bit too much arm as well. Snyder has done a nice job of letting the offense come to her. She's trying to find her angles to score. She's finding a lot of attention. When it's not there, she's kicking it on. She's doing an excellent job of not forcing the action and still keeping herself involved. 7 points in total.
Out of Millersburg, Ohio.
There's a lot of Bergs in Ohio.
There's a
It'd
few
be tough to keep track.
Nails the second, and that's it for the opening quarter. So the Hoiho looking for their first win of the season, and they have certainly come here with some intent. Friday night on the North Shore. Tauihi action underway. Hoiho out by 2. Second quarter coming up. Stick with us.
Great man, Oren Kirsten, right. We'll explain. We can pick a side. We'll get Kirsten over this side. And
Hoiho looked better with that full court press.
Be dribbling from one end. I know you know how to do that. Easy peasy. From one end of the court, we say go to the middle logo here, the Tuatara logo. Once you get to here, you're going to be doing a GJ donut wrap around. That's where you wrap the ball around your legs. Once you've done that, you know how to do that. Kahu explain as well. Then you dribble on back down there. Lay get up into the hoop. And if you do that, you score not only the ball you doesn't have against TJ Gardner, but also got those package moves as well. All right, you can do a little practice of your TJ Gardner wraparounds. That's what you're going to be doing at half court. Yeah, you got it all sorted out of the breeze. All right, we'll get you on the baseline now. This is, of course, thanks to the president partner of the league, TJ Gardner. Also sponsoring the salary now as well. All right, get you on the line here. On the baseline, you're going to be firstly dribbling two halfway. We're counting now. All right, we're going to do it fast now. There's only a few seconds left. 1, 2, 3, let's go! Right, once you get there, wrap it around your legs. Run your tummy, run your heads. Now raise back and try and score a basket. Let's go. If you get it in, you've got a couple of seconds to do it. Yeah!
Welcome back to Eventfinda. Justin Nelson, Casey Frank with you. Quarter time. The Hoiho 0-4 on the season, leading the Kahu 4-0 on the season. A promising start from the Southerners here tonight. Casey Frank.
Yeah, most definitely. It's all been about defense. They've done an excellent job of really pressuring the Kahu, forcing some turnovers that are unlike their normal offense. The Kahu already have 6 turnovers in this ball game, and they've been held to 6 for 16 from the field. The Hoiho getting great offense, but how about the battle between Snyder and Tupaia? Not guarding each other that much, but 7 points for Tupaia, 8 points for Snyder. They both have 2 assists as well, getting their teammates involved at the same time. I love the way that the leading scorers are leading their team trying to get this victory to their own squads.
Interesting stat that you won't see often, Casey. Crystal Ledger-Walker, just over the 7 minutes played in that first quarter, has a plus-minus of -6. Don't worry about that. Does not have another stat.
That's it. I didn't have the ball in hand quite often, but I don't think she'll be ending up with a trillion.
I think that'll change. As I said, not often you would see zeros all the way across the stat sheet for Crystal Ledger-Walker. Look out for her to get going. Speaking of get going, how about Lena Schneider?
Well, good offense. That's exactly what I mean about setting her up in positions to score. Set that screen, she catches it with no defender around her, just needs to turn and shoot. Defense too late to come because of that excellent screen sent by Chelsic.
Here's Tupaia and an offensive foul. And this will go against Talia Tupaia. Maybe with the hook on Kestrup, would need to see that again. That is her second.
Yeah, that's an offensive foul that she got called for a couple of times against the Phi earlier this week. She's got to be aware of that. She's so valuable. Can't afford to get that third early.
Here's Dugan searching. Schneider goes long. Can't finish. Gallagher keeps it alive. Cheslick steps around one and finishes.
Oh, Gallagher with a fantastic offensive rebound, really going out of the way, but the gamble by Gabby Evans-Gavitt is what opened up that opportunity for Shelby Chelslick from the finish.
Michaela Cox inside. Wolf had it, lost it. There to finish off, though, is Adams-Gavitt.
I actually think that was a touch pass by Madison Wolf. She's done that a couple of times now, and I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt for the vision and the assist.
Schneider shut down by Madison Wolf. Kestrup now. Gallagher is one player that can get going for the Hoiho.
Oh, Cheslick is wide open inside. She was putting in a ton of work that possession and was just hoping her point guard Dugan was going to be able to find her. And on that attempted lob pass, just a little bit too much muscle into it.
Here's Michaela Cox. Through hands, they move the ball to Tupaia. Quickly doubled, now she gets some space from the top of the arc. That one a little bit too deep, keeps it alive. Foul called on Kestrup.
Well, a good look, but better instincts to chase it. She's disappointed in the miss, but she's going to need another couple of opportunities at it.
GJ Gardner-Holmes replay, here it is, gets after it herself.
You see that screen, and then you see the contact afterwards. I got a feeling everybody who runs into Talia, it comes off a little the worse for wear.
There's Crystal Ledger-Walker. Can she get going here? Shut down, great vision though. Pass, gets it back. They're going to run out of time though.
Yeah, shot clock violation. Didn't get it off as stated. Lena Schneider, excellent defense to close out on Wolf and then slide with her. Staying with her defensively, making that pass difficult enough that the shot clock eventually went out.
There's Dugan, copped a heavy knock early in this game. Inside, great work. Schneider with the vision to Cheslick.
Well, there's the high-low. That's how you have to get that ball into the post when there's that side front. Get it to the high post, kick it in from there, and a bit of a lob, much easier to complete.
Ledger Walker, there we go. We said it wouldn't take long, Casey, for Crystal Ledger Walker to get going.
Well, she'll love that matchup. Anytime a player the size of Cheslick guards her on the perimeter, she's going to put him on skates just like she did there.
Schneider on the turnaround, doesn't get the roll.
Soft touch, though, letting it just sit up there for ages.
Ledger Walker again, quick hands. Wolf, Cox, steps around, goes into the corner. Can't finish the shot. Madison Wolf keeps it alive. There's Kalahi Blue.
Madison Wolf's interior passing this evening has been brilliant. She is completely unselfishly looking for her teammates. Might need to score a little bit, though, to make those passes still there in the second half. 2-point
ball game. Well, it is a big matchup. There's Schneider for three.
Oh, just the simple screen, step out. Madison Wolf, I think on the switch there, wasn't prepared to chase her out for fear of the drive, but it's the triple that got him.
That big matchup I was alluding to, Cheslick and Wolf, two of the tallest players in the Tauihi. Tapia bouncing off bodies, turns it over on the pass.
Didn't quite read the defense, tried to force it, and the turnover is the result.
And Schneider with a burst of speed, putting the pressure on that Kahu defense. And that pressure is starting to build. It's a 5-point margin now to the visitors.
Yeah, the Kahu occasionally look like they're going to get right back into it, but the Hoiho are looking well in control of this one. Very reminiscent of the first time these two teams played.
Timeout called here.
Extremely tight in the first half, all the way through to that fourth quarter. The Hoiho, excellent defensively.
One game already played, Casey, in round 3. That was last night in the capital. Massive crowd at TSB Bank Arena for that doubleheader. The Queens and the Poakai put on quite a show. 3-point game in the end. The visitors, the mainland Poakai, getting the win, 69-66. And there was a play in that game just before half-time when the Poakai had the ball to bring in at the defensive end. They used their Sky City player timeout, advanced the ball, and scored a triple on the buzzer in that last 3.9 seconds. And they won the game by 3.
You think that had something to do with it, maybe?
Smart play.
Huge play. I really appreciated how the teams have been using their Sky City player timeouts during the competition so far. Most of the teams have saved it for that end of quarter, end of half moment where the ball's in play and they need that quick timeout to really execute something before the buzzer goes off. And continuing, I'll be interested to see how it continues to evolve over the season.
As we said, doubleheader tonight, Tuatara and the Sharks playing at 7:30 here at Eventfinda this evening.
And as this game goes on, you're starting to see the Kahu go deeper into their bench than they've had to for the majority of the season. Of course, Marta Gray's out with the ankle injury, and just as she was starting to play a little bit more to her level, 15 points a couple of games ago, been stroking it from deep, as Lena Snyder misses the second from the new zone. But also, you see the foul there, I believe, on Samara Gallagher. But also, of course, Tara Reid, defensively, I think she's so key to this team. What she's able to give from the wing, scoring offense as well. That's a big loss for them until she comes back from illness.
And she's deceptively tall on that wing as well.
Yeah, she's got great size for a wing scorer. And she uses to her
6-point game. Corner ball from Jason Tinney, who's come onto the floor for the Kahu. Here's Gallagher skipping to the basket. Can't complete. Ball falls into the hands of Cox.
Kahu starts to need to figure out where their offense is coming from when Tapia isn't on the court. So used to running it through her hands, but she's on the bench now with those fouls.
Tauihi Basketball for 3. The Hoiho continue to up the ante here. They're out by 6. Rusk has Cheslick inside. It's a hard pass to try and get heavy contact coming.
Jason Tinney was over there to disrupt that catch if it would have come her way. Samara Gallagher tried to hustle over to help up her teammate and ended up having to spill herself.
Seen a few players hit the floor tonight.
The effort's out there. At the end of this game, I'm not sure that the uniforms are going to be the only blue that the players see on their bodies.
Oh, and there's the replay. I think Jason Tinney
might
lucky to get away with one there, I would have thought.
That's the key. Sometimes when that ball bounces out of bounds, the officials keep watching it. See, you can get a freebie in.
Here's Olivia O'Neill looking to bring it in and looking for Rusk. Very lucky to keep possession of it here. The Hoiho, Dugan, Rusk now has to let fly late in the shot clock. Just tipped the front of the ring. And Michaela Cox will try and settle her team down here. It's been a challenge for them. They're finding it hard to score. Tinney from a long way out banks it.
The bank is open late on a Friday night to Jason Tinney. It's a deep one, giving the Kahu a little bit of spark here late in the second quarter.
Any bank that's open at 5:30 p.m. on a Friday night is definitely overtime.
5 second call. Yeah, just the loose ball. Cheslick chased it out of there and just had no options. The Kahu picking up their defensive effort were in the passing lanes everywhere. And despite the eagle-eyed advantage from way up high, Shelby Cheslick could not find an outlet.
Timeout called by Natalie Vizga, the coach of the Hoiho. She wants to have a chat. They've been impressive. The Kahu with some work to do. Coming into the game, we talked about the head-to-head and the disparity in the points for. The Kahu definitely the better offensive team so far this season. But as we've already seen between these two teams in an earlier matchup, scoring is tight.
It's very tight. I think the Kahu can struggle with size at times, and Snyder and Cheslick certainly have that. Snyder, of course, an extremely skilled player as well with her scoring abilities. So with that advantage on the interior, they've been able to build a little bit of a lead playing that inside-outside basketball. The Kahu trying to find a solution with 4.5 left, and that 3 from Tinney can spark a little something offensively. The Kahu will be all the better for it.
One thing the Hoiho have done very well is slowed the pace of this game too. I mean, the Kahu with that 3-guard front of Cox, Ledger Walker and Tapia, when they get out and run, they're a quick team. And they're just struggling to do that tonight. Here's Tinney, nowhere to go, has to hand it off to Kelman Poto, gets all the way to the basket, and just like that, the Kahu are back to within 1.
Well, a couple of broken possessions actually turned out better for the Kahu. All that hustle in the muscle brings them right back into it.
Schneider, slick pass, Miss Zoe Richards. She's claiming it came off Ash Kelman Poto's knee.
Just a little bit too much mustard on that one at that low angle. Richards could not get down to corral it.
Here's Ledger Walker. Good pass to Tinney. Has hit 1, has hit 2.
Well, she has come out and every touch she is looking to score. There is no facilitation on her mind whatsoever. She's now 2 for 3 from deep.
And from 6 down, the Kahu are now 2 up.
Happens quick.
Rusk. Deep 2, that won't go. Here they come again. The home team starting to find their wings and take flight. Cox will set it back up. Kelman Poto with the screen. Berry, or Olivia O'Neill, I should say, with the work to do defensively. The pass in the end, too much for Tauihi Basketball.
Hoiho really disrupting the offense of the Kahu every time they get to an on-ball, really showing hard off of that, sometimes doubling, sometimes switching. It's a lot to think about for the guards coming off But they need to do a better job of taking advantage of what's being presented in front of them.
Mawadi Breen puts it into Snyder. Quick release. Probably too quick in the end. It's come off the leg of Richards.
Snyder's just so difficult to handle down there. I'd like to see her be a little bit more patient. But she did have an open look, and she does have 14 points up to this point, so she knows what she's doing.
She is the game-leading scorer. In fact, the only player on the court in double digits.
Denny just catches the ball and is straight to the cup, no matter what.
Well, she's putting in some good minutes here at the moment. Kelman Poto with a triple, and you can put the assist down to Jason Tinney.
Well, Jason Tinney's having a huge effect on this ball game. She's come in, and her aggressiveness offensively has really given the Kahu options. There we see the big offensive rebound off the miss and the kick straight out.
Sky City play a timeout here. The Hoiho, I think, with a team to call this. They want a quick chat because they've gone from 6 up to 5 down. And we're seeing it here again. The Sky City play a timeout in front of us.
Well, not only 6 up, but it's an 11-0 run for the Kahu. They're up 27-21. And it's been the insertion of Jason Tinney into the lineup that has had an immediate and palpable effect on this ball game. The Hoiho just not finding her on the perimeter. And because of that, she's been able to create looks for herself and others.
If you haven't seen the Sky City play a timeout before, both teams have 1 per half. The teams come together as players and talk on the court. Can't go to the bench. Coach can't talk to them. They can't communicate with the bench. It's only about the players on the court. And we saw a couple of them used to really good effect last night in the Queens Pauakai game.
Yeah, I think as the season goes along, the players will get a bit more comfortable with when and where to call those.
Here's Ledger Walker. Hoiho in the zone. Maybe that was the conversation in that player timeout. Cox hands it off. Great pass to Kelman Poto, who's fouled. She's off to the Razine.
I think it was Cheslick late with that one. Tried to stand straight up to contest, but had those arms at a little bit of an angle as the contact met Ashley Kelman Poto, who heads to the Razine now.
As you said, Casey, 11-0 run, and if there's any knock on the Hoiho this season, we've seen it a few times now. They can concede big points in a hurry.
Well, speaking of big points in a hurry, Ash Kelman Poto off the bench. That's her 10th in this ball game. Really stepping up as out of the starters, just Talia Tupaya scoring well, which she's got 7. No other starter with more than 2. But it's been the bench that has brought it. Ash Kelman Poto and Jason Tinney combining for 17 so far.
And they're out by 7, and they've forced another turnover. So for all the good work that the Hoiho had done for the best part of the opening 15 minutes of this game, it has turned the other way extremely quickly, and yet again, the Southerners need to have a chat.
They do, and that's a 13-0 run since the Hoiho grabbed that 6-point lead. What a response with their leading scorer on the bench for the Kahu, finding points from areas they may not have expected. It's great to see Ash Kelman Poto getting back and involved, having a huge effect on this game. A couple of nights ago against the Phi, she came off and had 5 quick points here and there, really inserting herself. But they've been pretty cautious with bringing her back from this injury. Less so today because out of necessity. You know, they're missing a few players, a couple players in foul trouble. She's been out there for 9 minutes tonight to score those 12 points. Oh, sorry, pardon me, 11 points.
And in that first game down in Dunedin, when the Kahu travelled down there, Ash Kelman Poto travelled with the team, didn't play.
Didn't play. So that was still the point where they were, she wasn't quite ready. You know, she was still getting herself back into game shape. But that shape's looking pretty good right now.
Of course, we're into round 3 of the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa. Casey Frank, some of the players that you've really enjoyed seeing so far, there's some stars.
Yeah, there really are. I mean, there's players all across the competition. I've really appreciated the scoring prowess of Trinity Baptiste in the post. I've seen a lot of the Kahu as well, and been really impressed by Talia Tupaya. I appreciate it. You've got one down in Queenstown, or sorry, down in with the Queens, of course, with Florencia Chagas, but there's a talent galore on every team in the competition.
Well, Jamie Nard was really good to watch last night as well for the Queens. Kyra Lambert, of course.
She's one of my favorites. She's got a lot of toughness as Tinney. Still's got that shooter's mindset. This one doesn't quite drop, but she's got to stay aggressive.
There's been some Kiwis.
I just want to mention that Kahu GM Matt Lacey walked by and said heat check on that one.
There's been some Kiwis that have been putting their mark on this competition as well in the opening rounds. Here's Schneider. There's a player that's been impressive.
It's like she didn't decide to shoot it until the last second, was looking past all the way, but when you can stroke it like that, think of it, and the run is finally slowed down.
Cox into the corner. Kalaihi Falou finds Kelman Poto out to Tinney. How good have those two been off the bench? That one doesn't get the drop. After it again, Kelman Poto. Dugan snavels it up and puts it up the floor quickly. O'Neill, one side to the other.
Great
Here's
movement.
Richards.
Great ball movement.
Kestrup inside. Foul reaching over the top.
That's a pretty good foul. I think getting that one in, don't want her to get to work there. The Kāhu are really out of position because of those cross-court passing. Going side to side affects things. Defensively, really have to rotate out of it.
Ball to come in here for the Hoiho. Schneider the target. Nice defense by the Kāhu. Look at Michaela Cox, one end to the other.
We spoke before the game that the Rosine was one of the keys for the Kāhu game. They go to there over so often. I'm not sure where they are in the league, but I'd be surprised if they don't lead the league in free throw attempts. But look at this is why Michaela Cox knows exactly what's going to happen. She's got the ball on the one-on-one on the break. She knows the contact's coming. She's just getting to the point where if it doesn't stop her, she's going to get it up. If not, she's definitely going to the Rosine, and we saw it there.
4 years with the Oregon Ducks. She made the All Pac-10 first team in 2010. She's been away from home, offshore playing for the best part of 14 years. Poland, France, Australia, of course, with her long stint in Townsville in the Australian WNBL. Absolute star for the Tall Ferns. Ooh. And Olivia O'Neill just literally had that taken out of her hands by Madison Wolf.
She had a block party and invited all the other guys on the other team.
Dying seconds of this first half. It's been a great fight back over the last 5 minutes by the Kāhu.
Well, the Hoiho have had a bit of a response on the last couple of minutes, which they really needed.
7-point margin, 15 seconds of play. Here's Cox again. Finds a way to the basket just like that.
So quick, what an explosive move. And now the Hoiho with one last chance.
And it's going to go the way of Schneider. She's fouled. Basket won't count.
That's a pretty good foul. That's only the fourth foul on the team, so it stops the break, takes away a scoring opportunity, and forces the Hoiho to reset and allows the Kāhu to set up that half-court offense. Heads-up play there.
And, of course, the Hoiho have already used their Sky City player timeout. You can only have one per half, and you need to be in possession to call it. So they're not going to get the chance to have a chat about a final play here. They've got to do it on the fly, and that could not be in any better hands than Lena Schneider. Have a look at that on the buzzer. The American comes up with a big basket, brings it back to 7 points. Lena Schneider with the bucket, and it was a handy score for the Hoiho after that big run by the Kāhu. One of the stars of the opening half for the Kāhu was Ash Kelman-Poto. There she is. We're going to catch up with her in just a moment. How good is it to see Kelman-Poto back on court and showing us all of her skills? Here she is right now with Casey Frank.
Well, Ash, off the bench, you were huge scoring-wise, coming up with 11 points. How were you able to find a little bit of a spark and get your guys back into the game?
I think we just need to tidy it up on defense a little bit, and like our talking is not enough, so get our communication up and then turn it over back on offense.
Speaking of getting your communication defensively, Elena Snyder has been fantastic in the first half. How do you guys hope to slow her down in the second?
Ooh. Just working together, I guess, but yeah, the refs are calling both ways, which is great, so I think we just have to get in front of her and not let her score.
Sounds like a plan, and of course I do have Elena Snyder here. A fantastic first half, and we're getting forced off the court by the kids, but you guys were really able to get something going early in the first quarter with that defensive intensity. What changed in the second quarter where they got a little run on?
Yeah, we just have to make adjustments, and when we come out, we see what they're doing in the first quarter, and we have time to adjust and make those changes whenever in the second quarter comes.
And speaking of changes, you've had a much bigger offensive impact in this game. Where have you guys done a little bit differently to try and get you a couple more looks in places that you feel comfortable scoring?
Yeah, we just switched over offenses and put some new stuff in that got all of us in positions that help us score a little bit better. So changing up the offenses, putting us in places that are that we're able to succeed in.
Sounds good. Good luck in the second half. Thanks for your time.
Well, 11 points in the opening half for Ash Kelman-Porto, 18 points in that opening half for Lena Schneider. At halftime, GJ Gardner-Holmes, Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa, round 3 action. The Kahu lead this one by 7. We'll take a look at all of the stats from the opening half right after the break.
That's the key. That's the key. Too much time on the baseball field, mate. That superstition only works outside. That shit don't work in here.
I like this setup, guys.
Oh, cool.
The ones that are singing make a lot of noise, I'm like,
The only problem here, these lights are actually, those ones there are in my eyes all the time, because I don't get them when I sit there.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Well, I think, yeah, they're all set up. Yeah.
That's a minor thing.
It's too small. Because you can only see 3,500, so they get 9,000, and they've gotten as many as like 11 and a half. They make way more money. If they have to get to make money there, they have to get like 6.5. But they do make because when they get up to 11, it's like another 5,000 tickets.
Hello,
Here, if they packed out, they can't make as much than they can.
Just saying how long. No, how long.
For this game, it's a streaming game. It's not Sky. So we only have
Okay, I think we go with a wide shot and then come to Casey and I here. We'll have a chat and then we'll go to stats.
No, we've only got 3 cameras.
Cheers, thanks, man.
It's a streaming. Tonight's game's a streaming game as well. It's not Sky. There's only one Sky game Saturday. We've got 1 camera rolling.
I want to give him a good laugh, mate.
Well, you're not really basketball.
Shotgun up there from down south. Vinny Talon show here. The Harbour under 11s. That one goes there! Number 21. Oh, time to shine. As we lead you into the halftime break. The Barnacle box score. And the Northern Kāhu leading score at the moment. AKB actually coming Porto, the brother in the house. 11 points right under the baskets. And our top rebounder of the match so far, Madison Wolf. Massive rebounder. 8 in the bank so far on the top scorers of the match. Tauihi with 7. Caleb Fox doing a captain's knock-in with 6. TD as well. 6 from 6 minutes. And on the other side of Roger, moving 2 points. So 2, Kāhu and Chester.
Friday night hoops in the Tauihi. Great to have you with us here on Sky Sport. The Kāhu leading this one by 7 at the half. over the Hoiho. Justin, Nelson, Casey, Frank with you. And some of the stats to half-time. I mean, there's not a lot in the game, but that 6-point lead that the Hoiho had about midway through that second quarter was very quickly evaporated with that 13-zip run by the Kahu case.
And it was done by the bench. Jason Tinney coming on, Ashkelm and Poto, those were the players who had the real effect on it on the scoring sheet. And there we see him on the leaderboard as well. Ashkelm and Poto at the top, but nobody is slowing down Lena Snyder. She has been unstoppable in the first half. There's the rebound. Madison Wolf has done such a nice job in the facets outside of scoring, supported by her teammates. Both teams extremely unselfish. Lena Snyder leading the way there. Michaela Cox is always going to get her name on that ledger, of course. The big block from Jason Tinney.
Who made a real impression.
It really did. She came on and she was aggressive, had that mindset you have to have coming off the bench that I'm going to come in and affect things. Snyder doing it on both ends. She is having herself a ball game.
So some danger signs for the Kahu midway through that second quarter, but then they found flight. A 13-zip run, and they take the lead at the half by 7. Second half not too far away. Big doubleheader tonight on Sky Sport. Of course, later on, the Auckland Tuatara taking on the Southland Sharks in the Sal's NBL. Love our basketball on a Friday night. We'll be back with more after this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is the end of the match. Let's hear it for the Harbour Breeze under 11. Don't forget as well to check out the Play Kahu Korero podcast online. Get involved there, and more downloads better. Covering all sorts of women's sports, including, of course, the Northern Kahu aspect of it as well. We've got 2 matches here this evening at Eventfinda Stadium. Following this match, we'll have some NBL action between your team, the Auckland Tuatara, taking on the Southland Sharks. We're up back out into the courts for the warm-up. We want our Kahu and Hoiho warming up. Very soon we're going to give away as well for a couple more of our key fans. We saw them out there in the stand before. But our girls got that match giveaway. That's taking a couple of minutes. Keep your ears and eyes peeled for that.
For the Hoiho, Cheslick and Snyder are combined 10 for 14, and the rest of the team is 3 for 15.
Wow, that's a good stat.
Good day, Lewis. How are we?
Everybody in basketball fans up in the stands, look at the girls, got girls, everyone is there. Ladies are around, you still emailed earlier. Okay, he's got 2 contracts as well. I think we'll get to that. He's around your friends. Oh, I think that's the next step. Everyone, go. Looks like Landon giveaway. There's another couple up there.
Third quarter not too far away tonight here at Eventfinda. GJ Gardner Homes, Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa. Everyone's enjoying themselves. Why not have a donut at halftime? The only thing that young one has done wrong there is she hasn't shared it with us, Casey Frey. Kahu leading this one by 7.
That's a hard line to live up to, but the Kahu have been fantastic. Despite not being able to really slow down Slider or Chelslick, the two of them have combined for 10 for 14 from the field. Yeah. The rest of the Hoiho, 3 for 15. So it is two-way traffic if the Kahu are able to slow down those two players. I'm just not sure where the Hoiho are going to find the offense outside of that. Most surprising, I think, for that is Samara Gallagher, not really involved in the scoring after dropping 19 these two teams met. She has yet to really get herself involved with 2 points.
It is busy times, of course, round 3 in the Tauihi. Let's have a very quick look at the games coming up because there's a lot of action right through until next Wednesday. Of course, the Queens and the Pauakai last night. Pauakai got that one by 3. They're back in action on Sunday against the Phi. Next Tuesday night in Tauranga, the Phi take on the Kāhu. I'm really looking forward to that game. A lot of those players up in this North Island, they know each other. They've played basketball for many years against each other, with each other. They're going into battle next Tuesday night. And, of course, Wednesday, the Hoiho back in action on their home deck at the Edgar Centre. They take on the Queens.
Of course, the Phi and the Kāhu met here a couple of nights ago. The Kāhu ran away with that. And I think the game really changed when Don McBride went down with an ankle injury. And that's when we saw Tupaya really take things over without a player who could slow her down. So the rematch will be impressive.
I've got to say, that donut looked pretty inviting.
They do. That is, I think, my favorite thing about the hospitality they have here for the Kāhu and for the Tuatara is those Southern-made donuts.
When you take your young ones out for a donut, do they think about you and offer some up?
Do you think I'm buying my kids donuts? They have enough energy as it is. There is enough sugar in the Frank system. They don't need it coming in from their food.
I see exactly where you're coming from.
I would never put myself through that.
Well, Kāhu by 7. We're about to get underway with the third quarter here. What is it from here that the Hoiho have to get right to get their opening win of the season, Casey? Because they did a lot right for about 14 or 15 minutes of that opening half.
Yeah, early on they were great. Then they got a little sloppy with the basketball, trying to get the ball inside the Cheslick and Snyder. If they can get those entry passes into those two players, the offense will be fine. Defensively, they're going to have to find another answer. Oh, a great block there by Cheslick, but they're going to have to find an answer for these players coming in off the bench and hitting those triples, getting that energy up. They've done a great job on Tupaya outside of those first couple of minutes, but she's relentless. She's going to keep coming.
And they've held Crystal Ledger-Walker to just 1 shot for the game. She's only got the 2 points.
I see, as we see, a great rebound and putback by Madison Wolf. I think Ledger-Walker's more of a facilitator on this team.
Well, here she is putting some pressure on the Hoiho straight away on Dugan.
Yeah, she doesn't tend to get involved in offensively unless it's essentially the best shot ever. Other than that, she's trying to get her teammates involved. I'd like to see her get a little bit more aggressive offensively, particular from deep, because she's such a skilled shooter.
Here's Tori Dugan. Took a very heavy knock in that first quarter. Cheslick, Schneider, 18 in the game. Trying to find some space, and she does over Kalahi Falun. She's out to 20.
Yeah, let's make that 20 really quick. She is unstoppable right now. They need to start sending some doubles, maybe some triples her way.
Ledger Walker, Wolf, Tupaya, corner. Cox is usually very good from that exact spot on the floor.
Oh, that's just too easy. Letting the ball swing around the perimeter without anybody getting in the way, and then Cox wide open for the triple in the corner.
When you see Michaela Cox in the corner outside that three-point line, that is a red light warning every day of the week. Here's Cheslick turning back to her right, tidy finish.
Still perfect from the field, 4 for 4 on her attempts. We do the Hoiho offense well to continue to feed her the ball in scoring positions.
8-point game. Wolf had a brief look, sends it outside. Crystal Ledger-Walker can't finish. Cheslick, big rebound.
Snyder with the fight, kicking it up, and now we've got the counterattack.
Dugan, great piece of mind there to just look to her left and find the run of Gallagher.
Yeah, she didn't run that lane. She opened it for Gallagher on the layup instead. Nice facilitation there by Dugan.
Back to 6. Ledger Walker ends up now with Wolf yet to score. That all changes.
Yeah, she's got back-to-back buckets here in the second half. Had the tip right at the tip, and now she's getting herself involved offensively. So good on the glass. If she can give him some scoring prowess as well, that'll be another thing to worry about for the Hoiho.
Hadn't scored in that opening half. She's got 4 points now in the game. And Olivia O'Neill with a big triple for the Hoiho.
But great pass by Cheslick. She gives the pump fake inside, so Michaela Cox has to freeze on Snyder, leaving O'Neill wide open on the perimeter, and then delivered for the triple.
Open points both ways to start this third period. Here's Michaela Cox, little pass underneath. Ledger Walker to Kalahi Falou.
Well, what a difference a couple of weeks makes for these two teams. Remember, the score sheet was 50-46 the first time these teams met. And now with 17 minutes to go, we're about to eclipse that.
And I think Coach Nat Visger would have spoken to her team. There's a foul on Kalahi Falou. Would have spoken to her team at halftime, Casey, about the need to really lock in the third period, because we've seen them struggle in this exact period in a couple of games. 4th foul now on Kalahi Falou.
That's going to really affect them. Yeah, it's great when you can come out in that third quarter. And unfortunate, Snyder felt the arm on her. Not a lot of contact in it, but if you fall down as a ball handler, defender's making contact with you, you're responsible. Now they lose the defense of Jazz Kalahifulu when she heads to the bench, but they bring in Ash Kelman-Poto, who has been so influential offensively in her minutes in the first half. Wonder if she can continue it here. She was not super pumped to talk to me at halftime.
Schneider the 3.
She avoided eye contact as long as possible, but I drew her in eventually.
That's unlike Ash. Of course, it's a big night for the Kelman-Poto family, because Dom will be playing for the Sharks after this one. How about that for a finish? Michaela Cox.
Putting him on the spin and showing the touch. She is getting herself more involved offensively here in the second half. That moves her up to 11 points now. And the aggressiveness, not just with the shooting, but look how she sees the contact. She's Cheslick there, knows she has to get away from her, so leans right into O'Neill, creating the contact and getting the finish.
3-time Australian WNBL champion and also a grand final MVP back in 2015. They get it back, the Kāhu.
I like the press by the Kāhu. It's really created opportunities, but can they capitalize on the turnover they just created?
Tapia wanting to go hard to the basket, pushes it out to Wolf now. That's not her shot from out there, but Kelman-Poto can hit these. That one comes up short. Wolf does well to keep it alive.
10 rebounds for her now.
And look out, Michaela Cox.
Hoiho got to be just taking their breath back after that one. That was a lot of defense played.
Schneider, Dugan launches and makes. Tori Dugan.
Oh, that's a big shot for Tori Dugan. Hasn't really been involved offensively. Just her second attempt of the day. She's made them both, and they really needed that one to release some pressure.
They're not going away, the Southern Hoiho. In the corner, Michaela Cox gets around Dugan. Passing out to the opposite corner. They keep it alive. It ends up with Tapia. She can't finish. Kelman-Poto, how about that?
Well, they're just creating extra opportunities on the misses now, making it even more difficult to defend.
They get after it again.
Good hustle by Wolf there. Couldn't quite get it, but man, it just feels to me like the Hoiho are just tipping over here. They're just on the precipice of the Kāhu maybe really taking control of this game and blowing it open. Got to find a way to slow the pace for the Kāhu, but still find themselves with scoring opportunities.
And they only just get it in there under that defensive pressure. Lucky to get away with that, the Hoiho. Dugan picks up the dribble. That allows Ledger Walker to come in and up the pressure once again. Back now with the West Australian. Here she goes. She gets some space. She goes the pass instead, looking for Chesley. And Tapia comes away with it.
Tapia showing a great instincts today in those passing lanes.
Ledger Walker.
Well, you asked for it. She's been more aggressive here in the second half. Like the drive, like the finish even better.
Here's Rusk. Schneider. Dugan steps around the Schneider screen. Launches again. Can she go 2 from 2? She can't. Wasn't too far away. It was a good look. Cox now. Hard to the basket. Couple to beat. And she's drawn the foul.
Oh, the late whistle, much to the dismay of the Hoiho. But Michaela Cox, such a professional scorer, continually finding herself with attempts at the Racine, where here comes the commentator's curse. The Kahu have yet to miss. 7 for 7 from the Racine. I know you'll appreciate that, Justin.
There's an absolute miss on the way. Sorry, Michaela.
Not from me. She can't get affected by my voice. Another one from the Racine, and of those 6 for 6, well, 7 for 7 now, she's got 6 of them.
Averaging just under 26 trips to that Racine line per game, the Kahu. And there you go. I told you. Sorry. We did apologise in advance.
I don't blame myself. If you're letting me defend you, you're in trouble.
We're going to stop it here. I think we're going to reset some time, maybe. What have you made of Michaela Cox's game so far tonight? She's got 13 in the game, 12 in the game, I should say. 2 assists, 1 steal.
No, 13 was correct. Your stats were just a little bit slow to tick over on that free throw. 3 for 8 from the field. She's letting the offense come to her and being aggressive when it comes her way, doing a great job of facilitating. But I think for her, the key is always defensively. You know, what she's able to do to opposing scores and slow things down. And you can see the Kāhu have really good chemistry, especially when they got that 3-guard lineup out there that you spoke about. So fast, so many scoring options and pushing the pace. But it's just been great to see Michaela back in the country. You know, I knew her a little bit back when she was a young player, you know, in the early 2000s before she shot over. And it's been great to watch her development from afar and just the flowers that her career has gotten her. She's had a fantastic career, but obviously just great to see her in person again.
This isn't a Sky City player timeout, by the way. We've just had a break in the game, and we're going to restart from the baseline with the Hoiho. Had a really good chat with Michaela before the game, and I asked her, Casey, how are you enjoying being back home playing in New Zealand? And it was a very quick answer with a big grin, big smile. I'm loving it.
Forces the jump. Crystal Ledger-Walker, man, she is a one-woman press here in this one, all by herself, causing problems.
And she's 1 possession back for the Kāhu. Midway through this 3rd period, she's starting to become a prominent figure in the game. Here she is, Crystal Ledger-Walker. Tapia onto that left, gets to the basket, draws the foul, and now she's off to the coloured stripe.
Well, so quick with that step. She is creating opportunity after opportunity on the drive and finally gets the whistle that she's been searching for, and will head to the Racine for her first attempts of the game tonight.
After the timeout. 4:34 left to play in this 3rd quarter. Kāhu leading this one by 8. What a coaching panel the Northern Kāhu have as well. Jodie Cameron, Leanne Walker, former stars of the Sky Sport Tall Ferns in their own right. And of course, they're part of the coaching staff these days with head coach Guy Malloy.
Jodie Cameron has had a fantastic career. And her team is extremely fortunate to have coaches of that caliber, as are all the teams across the competition. You know, that's one of the things that's great about the Tauihi League is the coaches that were coming in, developing the players, the knowledge that's shared, not just from in New Zealand, but across the world that's coming across, seeing new things, seeing new players, and it's the old adage, iron sharpens iron, so you've got to bring some iron in to get your own iron to the level it needs to be.
And there's a few prominent basketball families, there's more than a few prominent basketball families across New Zealand. What about the Cameron family?
That's not a bad one. Did it as players for a long, long time. It goes generational, of course. The matriarch of the family.
Absolutely.
Mata Cameron was a great player in her own right. And you know, speaking of Piro, that's when he learned the game.
Yep.
Following mom to the gym. And now, of course, all coaches in that Cameron family in the next generation. Of course, the next generation of players coming through now. Jody's daughter playing quite well today. Piro's son playing quite well for the Tall Blacks.
Yeah, absolutely. At the moment, over at the Asia Cup and doing okay, doing really well. Tapia made one of those two from the Resine, margin at 9.
The difference in the Kahu defense. Look how extended they are in this second half, just not giving the Hoiho opportunity.
Mighty Breen into Cheslake. A little bit of a hand on that from Madison Wolf. Mark that down as a block, and the Kahu come forward again, starting seemingly to take control of this game. And Crystal Ledger-Walker has been in the thick of it in this third period. Keeps the dribble alive here. Out to the corner. I've warned everyone. That one came up short.
Jason Tinney, though, what an effect she's had on the game. Another offensive rebound.
Cox to Wolf for the mid-range.
Madison Wolf without a bucket in the first half, but has come out in the second and gotten 3 in succession. 6 points for her now to go with 10 rebounds and a couple of assists.
Well, there's been a whoop at the door in this third quarter, Casey, and she is busy blowing the Hoiho house down.
It is absolutely true. Here we see the entry pass, but look at Michaela Cox just come in, sees Jason Tinney's in a little bit of trouble, knocks it out of bounds. 14 seconds left on the shot clock for the Hoiho to get one. And you're just starting to wonder how long they're going to leave Lena Snyder on the bench.
Well, she has been the star of the show for the Hoiho tonight. 20 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Don't think she's in any sort of foul trouble, just the one foul.
Active hands defensively.
All over Nicole Rusk. She has to go from deep. She can't convert, and look who comes up with it. Ledger-Walker showing her handles. Out to the corner. Cox gives it up on this occasion.
She could have shot that one, but she's looking for a better one.
And good hands in the end from the 6'5" Shelby Chesley.
Showing the ball handling skills too. Michaela Cox harassing her anytime she puts the ball on the floor.
Wolf has just nailed one from here. That one slightly to the left off the hand. There's a foul on the rebound. That's against Michaela Cox. Puts her hand up and says, yep, okay.
Yeah, she had the arm lock in there, trying to get away with a little bit of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Well spotted by official Sharon Martin.
Talking about Shelby Chesley before, a product of Gonzaga, a noted basketball factory.
I often wonder how Gonzaga gets so many players in Spokane. Not the greatest city in the world.
Oh, come on. Pete Fair. Long shot from Snyder comes up short. And here she is again, Ledger-Walker, who has really taken over the ball carrying duties in this third period. Splitting a couple of yellow-eyed Penguins, the Hoiho, all the way to the basket.
Oh, the footwork's so good, though. She's got such an awareness, this Tauihi Tapia, of where the defenders are on the court. 2 of them step up to her. She gives that little up fake, and then that big step to clear their defensive abilities and effectiveness for the layup. Couldn't get it to drop, but back to the Resine.
Signed to play again in the Australian season with the Canberra Capitals. Tauihi Tapia has spent the bulk of her WNBL career with the Sydney Flames, of course. Recent couple of years with the Capitals. Here she is from the coloured stripe, puts that one away.
There's a foul on Crystal Ledger-Walker.
Well, it just shows you how committed she is in that defensive pressure. She'll wear that foul, no problems at all.
Yeah, no problem with the foul for the trade for the defensive pressure that she's getting out of what she's putting on the Hoiho with this one-woman press. But now we've got everybody up and in, making it even more difficult to get the ball across half court. Just token pressure, though.
Mighty Breen here.
Yes.
Richards.
Got to look in the post. Snyder had great position, but now the defense is adjusted.
And the pressure from Cox means that Nicole Rusk can't even get the head up and have a look for Snyder inside. They've got it back again. 4th foul.
Yeah, they're trying to give the ball to the Kāhu, but I believe it's the Hoiho ball. And there we go, we fixed it. Nice hustle by Michaela Cox. And this quarter has been about defensive pressure for the Kāhu. They have been much more active, extending their defense, forcing the Hoiho to initiate offense from 2-3 steps beyond the 3-point stripe. And that's made those entry passes more difficult to get in. Elena Snyder, 18 at half, just 2 points here in the quarter.
Here is Snyder now to the basket.
Making 4.
Well, you couldn't have called it any better, Casey Frank.
But she's just such a skilled scorer. She can score from the post, she can shoot it. And there you see her put the ball on the floor to beat the defenders before the help comes. Drawing so much attention. Whenever she's got the ball in hand, she's got multiple defenders with their minds set on her.
Attended Ashland College in the States, the Eagles.
Went for the home run pass there. The Hoiho pressure getting another turnover in this one. Probably need to do that a little bit more, but they got to get the ball in the bucket to set that press up.
They're just hanging in there at the moment, the Hoiho. Here's Kestrup. Oh, a little bit of space as Tinney ran away, and Bronwyn Kestrup will be disappointed when she looks at that one back. Everything just opened up for her, and she made it a little bit harder than it should have been.
Unforced errors for the Kāhu. That is turnover number 12. 14 for the Hoiho. But it's the unforced ones that make you go crazy.
Here she is again, Snyder. Zoe Richards comes in strong to keep it alive, gets an open shot here and nails it. Everybody just left the spot.
Yeah, I'd like to see Zoe Richards be a little bit more aggressive offensively. She's doing such a nice job on the glass, but that time turns and looks to get her first bucket of the ball game.
And that now is the 4th foul for the team this quarter.
There you see it, just, easy as you like. That's a little warm-up shot.
I think she was a little bit surprised that everyone left her.
You always are. You take it a little bit personally at times. Why am I that bad at scoring the ball today?
Where's everyone going?
What happened?
There's Jodie Cameron. Tapia off that foul.
Well, the last thing you want to do is foul her away from the basket. Give her these free opportunities to get her eye in.
4 of 5, make that 5 of 6 from the Resine for the Australian Talia Tapia, who does have a lot of family here in New Zealand, down in Hamilton. There's a nice little shot again from Lena Snyder.
The post is too deep. She gets that catch down there and the double doesn't get there quick enough. That will be a bucket.
Here's Ledger Walker. How's the patience on Crystal Ledger Walker? Just waited for Zoe Richards to fly past.
Excellent patience, excellent use of the up fake to create that opportunity for herself.
Snyder here again, having some sort of a game, draws the foul.
And that'll be free throws on the bonus, even though she didn't get it up. But that's the 5th personal foul on the Kāhu.
Talia Tapia, her family here in New Zealand. She was saying to me before the game that I think both her parents are here watching
that's awesome.
Tonight, which is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, had the pleasure of meeting them a couple weeks ago down in Pukekohe.
Oh, long pass into Russ. There's contact there. Now, how's the officials going to see this? A hold is the call.
Interesting. Talia Tapia in really tight defensively.
I think Tapia thought it was interesting as well. Holding foul was called.
Here we see the catch where, she took that elbow in and on her way down she grabbed the forearm. So she would have felt that she was the one who got fouled there. She picks up, is that her 3rd or 4th personal? That is her 3rd personal foul.
Nicole Rusk at the line for the Hoiho. How good is it to see Nicole Rusk back playing?
It's been excellent. As the season goes along, the teams are able to get their full rosters. And so much better for the Hoiho. You can see that they've needed a little bit of depth to help their attack.
9 points, and now all of a sudden they're under pressure to get it across here. They won't. Violation in the back court.
Oh, that's that tip there when it's a loose ball. Personally, as a defender, I'd like a chance to maybe go and grab that one. There's nobody in possession at that point, so but the 8-second call is made, and they will take the turnover and a chance here to. Oh, jeez, Basquetbol just bangs straight through that screen.
You can see the face, see the reaction. Nicole Russ was like, wow, where did that come from?
She did not expect that. Well, here's the problem with standing on the tracks. Eventually the train comes through.
And the train came through in a big, big way. Nicole Russ definitely felt that.
Sometimes that light at the end of the tunnel isn't the end of the tunnel, but another train coming through. And she definitely came out worse on the ledger after that contact. But free throws here doing a nice job of keeping the Hoiho in it at the end of the quarter. For a second, it looked like the Kahu were going to pull away again, but no.
Bring our viewers up to speed, Casey, on the fouls across both teams. Anyone in foul trouble at the moment?
We've got Talia Tupaya sitting on 3 personal fouls, and of course Jasmine Kalahifuhu sitting on 4. Who's had a bit of trouble with the whistle tonight. For the Hoiho, nobody in real foul trouble. A couple of players on the bench with 2, but nothing to be concerned about.
Rusk with a couple of misses from the Resine, and then the Hoiho turn it over as they step on that pesky sideline. Best defender in the competition. Here's Michaela Cox. Clock is down to 5. They've got to get a late shot. The ball from Tupaya cannoning into the lower leg of Madison Wolf.
Well, it was the right look, just couldn't execute it. She drew so many defenders off the dribble, and there's plenty of time for Wolf to catch and shoot, but just off the shin. Throw it to the bigs high. They like it high.
Late shot here. No, there won't be. Not enough time for Mawadi Breen or Zoe Richards. Third quarter. The Southern Hoiho are hanging in there, but it is still a 9-point margin the way of the home team, the Northern Kahu. 1 quarter to play tonight, round 3 action. It's a big double header here on the North Shore at Eventfinda. Let's see how this one turns out. Last quarter coming up.
Side 2, 1 over here. Good job. Great catch. Nice one, my friend. Oh, 1 more ball, is it? All right, so 1 minute to go until we resume play here at Eventfinda Stadium. Great match this one. Awesome skills on display between both teams. You have it checked out. Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa, make sure you do so. We've got it all covered on Sky Sport as well. And coming up after this match, stick around because we've got the entree to the main. You could say the Auckland Tuatara in the house. Also got the Southland Sharks arrived here, getting amongst the action right now.
Welcome back to Friday Night Hoops on Sky Sport. GJ Gardner Holmes, Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa. There's Coach Natalie Vizga and the Southern Hoiho who are hanging in there at the moment. Casey Frank, they're down by 9. Lena Schneider, the star at the moment with 25 points.
Yeah, 25 points, 5 assists as well to go along with 3 rebounds and a couple of steals. She's on your screen in front of you, and every time she's got a one-on-one matchup, she has been able to take advantage of it. In that third quarter, the Kahu did a better job of forcing the passer to go in other directions, really pressuring ball handlers to make those entry passes more difficult than they were in the first half. They're going to have to continue that level of defense because despite that 9-point lead, the Hoiho have shown the ability to score in bunches in this game. And the Kāhu, they haven't been great with the ball in hand. There's a lot of careless turnovers, and those turnovers could let the Hoiho right back in it.
Last time these two teams met, it was a real arm wrestle. We've mentioned that, 50-46, 103 rebounds in that game. I don't think we'll get anywhere near that tonight. There's been 53 between the two teams. Kahu leading that count, 32-21. Here's Ledger Walker, nowhere to go. And we've had a foul called here, yep.
Yeah, Talia Tupaya was grabbed by Samara Gallagher when she was cutting to the basket from behind.
I think the confusion there was the official had signaled a foul but pointed the wrong way.
That's all figured out in the end. She knew who the foul was on. That's the important part. Official Sasa Nicholson making the call.
Here's Cox. Looking to pass now. Hands it off to Crystal Ledger. Walker doesn't get the roll. Ash Kelman-Poto in between a couple. Keeps it alive for the Kāhu. Can't finish the shot though.
Oh, good run by Cheslick.
Put it on the floor once, and that was enough for Ash Kelman-Poto to come in and put the pressure on. Heads up play by Schneider with the pass.
Really good run by Cheslick. Getting back down the court and just dropped right in. Snyder does have 5 assists. She is looking for her teammates. Shelby Cheslick did not enjoy the extra attention there from Ashley Kelman-Poto.
Well, you know how much I love a rim runner in the Sal's NBL and the GJ Gardner homes at Tauihi, and Cheslick is proving to be a very good rim runner in this competition. Here she is at the Resine with the second shot. That one goes in. Foul shooting tonight for both teams, Casey?
Been very solid. 13 for 15 for the Kāhu, and that make not quite on there. 5 for 11 for the Hoiho. So unfortunate points left on the board there that could make it a little bit closer. I'll make that 6 for 12 now. It's been
great
updated.
pass inside. Cox to Kelman-Poto. In fact, the Kāhu were perfect from the Resine until Casey Frank talked about it.
Yeah, it's all me. I'm a great defender from the sideline.
Gallagher, who's been well held tonight, had 19 points when these two teams last met. Great baseline drive reverse by Olivia O'Neill.
Rips through, and Ash Kelman-Poto tried to make a play at it, but couldn't handle the physicality from Cheslick.
Hey, it's back to 6.
Right back in it.
Tupaya wrapped up. Foul is on Cheslick.
They're really showing a lot of defensive attention to whoever's coming off the on-ball, and it's slowing down the Kāhu offense. You might want to look to play a little bit more on one, because when that screener comes in is actually when the offense is getting mucked up. They're great from the point of attack just off the ball in hand.
Gallagher held to 4 points in this game. Ledger Walker. Mind you, though, given the way Schneider's been playing, I don't think there's any problem in giving it up to her, although here is Gallagher right on cue. Foul is on Cox, and Samara Gallagher is off to the Resine line.
Shelby Cheslick creates that opportunity with the grab and go. A player her size, not often dribbling the ball up court, but then she gets the ball over half court, gets that double, has the size to see over it, hits the wide open Samara Gallagher. Unable to convert.
We have seen it from Cheslick a couple of times tonight, haven't we?
We have. Bigs that like to dribble the ball. Normally hear from coaches telling them not to dribble the ball. At least I did my whole career.
I was going to say, what were you like as a dribbler? On the court, that is.
I felt fantastic. My coaches always felt differently. That didn't stop me, though.
I think there's a few people out there that think we dribble a bit in the commentary box these days, but anyway.
Based on my interactions, more than a few.
4-point ball game. The Hoiho hanging in there. Ash Kelman-Poto with the jumper. Ledger Walker keeps it alive. Tupaya. It ends up with Cox. She feeds it down to Wolf. Shot clock ticking down. It's at 5. Wolf on the turnaround.
Oh, Madison Wolf showing the touch. After the contact with Gallagher, no effect, straight to the right-hand hook.
That's a big basket shot clock was ticking down. Schneider inside draws the foul. And Cheslek-Schneider, that combination high-low, we've seen that a number of times tonight.
Well, that's what it should be every single time. They should have Schneider or Cheslek really fighting for low post position. If that defender gets on the high side or caught on the low side, straight to the high post for that entry pass. So much easier from the top of the key than it is from the wing.
Gallagher brings it in. Schneider, Wolf over the top of her. Dugan backs it out. Here she is again. She's been a star tonight, Lena Schneider. That one is short.
Madison Wolf has ably defended her on that possession and collects another rebound.
25 in the game for Schneider. Nearly a big finish there for the Kāhu. There's a foul here.
Oh, offensive foul called on Cheslek. Ashcam and Poto went in trying to get the basketball. Apparently wore a little bit of an elbow there. She went to the ground, and the ball will stay with the Kāhu. Huge turnover there, forced by Ashcam and Poto.
Cheslek headed to the bench here now.
She's got a little bit of blood. No, she's just taking where that contact was.
I think that's her fourth foul.
Personally, I'm going to leave her out there, as she does pick up foul number 4.
Here's Kelman Poto, has looked good tonight. Ash Kelman Poto, fouled by Zoe Richards. The Kāhu, number 13, making her way back this season from an injury. So good to see her back out there. She has had some games in the past with the Sky Sport Tall Ferns, of course.
Well, this is going to be her first opportunity to score in the second half after a brilliant first half. Saw her drop 11 points. And she hits the first from the regime here, stretching that lead out to 7 and giving the Kāhu just a little bit of breathing space.
And the Kāhu trying to keep their unbeaten run alive to start this inaugural Tauihi season. Again, the pressure up the floor by the Kāhu almost forced the turnover.
Snyder's got to like that matchup, and she does.
Straight to the basket. She's fouled, and again, she heads back to the line.
Well, she really recognizes the defenders in front of her really nicely on that play. Crystal Ledger-Walker just does not have the size to contest with her if she gets into the painted area, and she puts her head down, drives hard. Quick first step, too. Surprising speed on that move. Back to the stripe. What a game she has put together here. Lena Snyder unable to get that one, but one left.
So we can get on that back again. Here we go!
As we spoke about earlier tonight, Casey, just one of 2 players in the Tauihi averaging a double-double per game, Lena Schneider, along with Nikki Green from the Phi. Here's Ledger-Walker. Oh, fantastic setup. Crystal Ledger-Walker, that's your basket. Madison Wolf finishing it off.
Oh, gave him the bait and switch, looking in. Look, I'm going to score. No, I'm dropping it off. Madison Wolf, I believe she should be up to double figures now. 10 points and 12 rebounds.
Yeah, she has had some sort of a game as well, doing a little bit of everything. Here's Dugan wide open. The lefty drains the big triple.
Had to have it. Great find by Snyder. 3 defenders around her. She's able to fight off the contact and find Dugan, who's maybe the biggest shot of the game for the Hoiho, keeping them in distance to get this win.
Margin at 5. Cox dumps it off. Wolf with the head fake. Stepping, looking, searching on the left. Yes, gets the roll.
What a second half Madison Wolf has been putting together here. Showed the beautiful move there, using the head fake, had Snyder in the air, then gets into the paint, and just clinical with the post move. Snyder's going to head to the bench now. With 6 minutes left, I can only assume it's a quick blow so she can get her energy back for a big push at the end. We're down 7 with just 6 left. I don't know, I might be leaving her in there and asking her to push through. 27 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals. Sorry, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. She has put together another stat stuffer. Only player on the Hoiho in double figures. Next closest is Dugan, Shelby Cheslek with 9, and then Dugan with 8.
And when they last played the Kāhu, they only had the 1 player in the double digits that night as well. Of course, it was Gallagher with 19. 12 and 12 for Wolf in this game now. Dugan over to Rusk. Long three.
Beautiful tip by Michaela Cox, the controlled tip to ignite the fast break.
Here she is. Michaela Cox somehow found a way through traffic. Just so good at being able to change direction, change speed, look for the gap, find the gap, draw the foul. She's back to the regime.
Well, she had a lot of space on the break there, and in the one-on-one, she had the chance for a couple of exploratory dribbles, cut off to the left when the help came, but then she resets on the hesitation and is able to find the space, find the contact. She's done a really impressive job of getting herself to the regime and does so once again with that make.
You talked about her rebounding before, Casey. She's going at just under 6 rebounds a game, Michaela Cox.
Not having that same effect tonight, but she's got a nose for the basketball. She knows where it's going to end up. At times has magnets in those hands.
Here's Gallagher. Cheslick.
And with Snyder on the bench, the offense really has to go through Cheslick.
Good hands in there by Ledger Walker.
Just 6 seconds on the shot clock. Got to get one up quickly.
They need to score here. That margin's at 9 again. Dugan has hit a couple. That one had the distance.
And it's a good look. She had plenty of time before the defender got to her, just unable to find its measure.
Michaela Cox, by the way, is the leading rebounder this season for the Kāhu with 5.8 again. That may change tonight with Madison Wolf.
Madison Wolf putting it together. No grays in the game, of course. She's normally rebounds at a decent rate for the Kāhu. But that is one of the issues, I think, for the Kāhu is, you know, compared to some of the other squads, they don't have that same size down low. They don't have those same rebounders. I think Ashka Wapoto could turn into that. You see it. Yeah, just nobody averaging over 6 per game. What we have? What was the call there?
No, it was a foul. So.
Oh, everybody was just lined up and chatting.
Yep, just catching up. Just a Friday night catch up.
Just have a little chin wag out here on the first one. We'll get in on the second. Sometimes that can ice the shooter as well. All of a sudden you don't know why is nobody here. Well, Zoe Richards track it down to hustled by Tupaya.
Maybe some method in the madness there. Hit the first, missed the second. 8-point margin, just under 5 to play in this one. Can the Hoiho, searching for their first win, cause the biggest upset of the season, or will the Kāhu hang on? Kalahi Falu missing on the right there. Schneider back out there. You'd expect her to stay put for the next 5 minutes or so. Great pass, Dugan inside. Zoe Richards had it.
When Jazz Kalahifulu fell down, and the Hoiho had a 5-on-4 for a bit there, but the hustle to get back into the play and knock that one out. The Kāhu, we got a timeout called here.
Hasn't been a lot in it tonight, Case. Hoiho won the first quarter by 2. That second quarter was where the Kāhu just opened it up a bit, 23-14. Third quarter, just a couple of points in at 22-20 going the way of the Kāhu. In this last quarter at the moment, Hoiho winning it 11-10.
Yeah, the defense has taken more of a part in this fourth quarter as both teams have knuckled down trying to get the win. And in that second quarter, it was the bench that came in and was just so productive. Ash Kelman-Poto with 11 points in the first half. Jason Tinney, 6 points in the game, all 6 in that second quarter when they were able to really turn things around, go from 6 down to 9 up in a short amount of time. We started with that 13-0 run before they heard a response.
Tuatara taking on the Sharks tonight from 7:30 in the Salons NBL. We'll have all the coverage for you, of course, on Sky Sport. And I'm fairly sure I picked up during the week, Casey, that you are going with the Sharks tonight.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd like to see things when I get to the game, but you know, the Tuatara looked great against the Sharks the last time down.
Just have a look at this. The Hoiho have drawn up something on the sidelines. We'll try and get the camera down the other end. They've come out on the court, the Hoiho, and they're in place. They know exactly what they're doing. Have a look at that.
They're ready to go.
I think Lena Schneider may be having a bit of a laugh about that.
Sorry, guys. Normally team photos after the game. Wonder if they're going to close the gate here and get Dugan up top, but Michaela Cox sees it, and that's Snyder up top. That's who they close the gate for.
And will it pay off? It does. Great play drawn up by Coach Nat Vizca.
That one goes back in the playbooks a long way. Just the picket fence, shut the gate on the way out as the shooter gets there. They had 2 shooters to worry about, and worried about the wrong one.
And it's not as if the Kāhu didn't know that something was coming up, because they were standing out there in their set for a good 15 seconds before the Kāhu came back out. Kalahi Falu answers.
Well, she's sitting on the bench with foul trouble the entire game, but able to get her second bucket there on the nice find from Michaela Cox.
And that was a big answer there by the Kāhu for Jazz Kalahi Falu. Lead back to 7. Dugan. Long 2, Zoe Richards.
And she loves that little baseline area there. Kayla Cox unable to affect the shot attempt. As the Hoiho continue to stay just on the precipice of getting back in this ball game.
Well, they lost their last game by 27 and their game before that by 27. So this has been a much improved performance. Michaela Cox.
Oh, I think she might have had one more pass there, but a decent look at it with the shot clock going down.
Schneider to play to watch here.
Oh, there's Snyder, get her involved. Great job calling for her to come up and get the catch.
Steps back to her left, searches inside, bucket pass underneath to Cheslek is good.
Well, that two-person game there between those two. They have a lot of affinity for each other on the pass, able to know where that ball goes, and all of a sudden just a 3-point difference in this one.
Cox now, 2:46 to play, gets to the Razine, both feet on the coloured stripe, nails the 2.
Oh, calm as you like it, giving the breathing space to the Kāhu, but a quick counterattack by the Hoiho.
They do, they come back strongly, Schneider there to finish it.
Snyder has been everywhere tonight, 32 points for her now.
Cox up to 17 as well for the Kāhu. But it has been the Schneider show, hasn't it? There's Ledger Walker searching outside to Paya. This would be big. Misses everything. Zoe Richards comes up with it. Here come the Hoiho. Down by 3.
Oh,
that is a heavy fall.
Oh my. She went down really hard. And straight on her head.
Talia Tapaya straight to her side as well. Knowing how heavy that fall was. Both players went for the ball. Both got a hold of it in midair, Tapaya and Schneider. But you heard the thud as Schneider came down and hit the floor hard.
That's, I mean, a concussion is a possibility. And
can see the concern there from Coach.
Well, I'm not 100% clear on the rule, because she's supposed to be the free throw shooter here as well.
Yep.
I believe she's able to be subbed out and have someone come in and still come back in the game. It differs from the NBA rule on an injury in this case. But a lot of concern from her teammates now about that big contact between Tupaya and Snyder.
Not sure if we've got the GJ Gardner Holmes replay, but both players in mid-air flying for the ball. Both actually got a handle on it as well.
And the size of Snyder just had a bit of an advantage there, and Tupaya came down with the ball, but an awkward position for Snyder.
And it was a heavy thud. You heard that through our effects mics. So some concern here for the Hoiho as Lena Schneider sits up now.
Well, the Kāhu asking if that was a jump ball.
I can understand why the question. I mean, like I said, both players.
Was a jump ball called? Now I'm starting to wonder. I was so concerned by the contact. I thought it was a foul.
Schneider will go to the sideline, and I'm not sure that we're going to see her again tonight.
That was a heavy, heavy fall. So
just waiting on confirmation on that call. There she is, clearly in some pain.
Well, the ball is on the sideline, so if it was a foul, it would have been free throws. So just an unfortunate mix-up between two players sends their best player to the sideline with just 2 minutes to go in a game that they had a great chance to lose. Can they find someone to find them an answer?
Well, their star is on the sidelines. 32 points in the game for Lena Schneider tonight. She has been quite incredible. Here's Zoe Richards. Maybe she can be the star for the Hoiho. She's fouled.
Dugan comes off the screen and gets good deep penetration. I would like to see her be a little bit more aggressive looking at the rim, but so unselfish finds Zoe Richards, who's able to patiently find her way to the Racine after receiving that foul from Ashkelman Poto.
And I can confirm that that call was a jump ball.
Well, it had to be. If it was a foul, it would have been free throws. Eventually the play-by-play catches up with us.
It did. Lucky we've got you here.
Unfortunate miss there by Zoe Richards, but can she get the second?
In and out.
Oh, that's a crusher.
Couple of big opportunities go begging for the Hoiho. The Racine stripe, I don't think has been favourable to them, especially in this second half.
11 for 21 they are now in a 3-point ball game.
I've got no doubt that'll be discussed after the game if they don't get across the line here. Foul on Tori Dugan, and I think that will put Michaela Cox to the line.
And that's Tori Dugan's 4th personal foul. Oh, pardon me. Not Tori Dugan's 1st personal. I've got that incorrect. That is her 2nd personal foul.
And the Kahu would want no better player at the line right now than the 36-year-old Sky Sport Tall Fern star, Michaela Cox. Nails both.
On that previous foul, though, that was Ashkelman Poto's 4th personal foul, so she is in definitive foul trouble.
19 in the game for Cox, and she's gone 9 of 11 from the stripe. Nicole Rusk for 2, doesn't get the roll. That's come off the hand of Madison Wolf. Cox keeps it alive. And the Kahu just controlling the last 30 seconds of this game. Lena Schneider on the sidelines after that heavy head knock. Here's Kelman Poto into the paint, searching, flicks it out to Wolf, to Cox. Shot clock down to 6. Kelman Poto will fire away for 3. That's short. And the Hoiho keep it alive.
Big rebound, great defensive stop by the Hoiho, but they have to find an offensive answer here with less than a minute to play.
Kestrup. Richards. She'll go from long range and makes it. Zoe Richards with the triple has given the Hoiho some energy and some life in this one. It's back to 2.
Well, her first make from the 3-point line on the day, and just the 3rd Hoiho to hit one. Dugan and Snyder had all the other triples. She just steps back easy as you like it, lets it fly, and gives the Hoiho a little bit more hope, cutting it down to 2.
9 points, 8 rebounds in the game for Zoe Richards.
I mean, she's been effective. She's had some great shots on the baseline. Hasn't forced the offense at all. That was probably the most aggressive she got offensively all day, and she needed to be. And the Hoiho needed somebody else to find a bucket. And now with 41 seconds left, who do you butt the ball in the hands of here? Talia Tupaya on the year, the leading scorer for the team, but just 12 today. Well, Michaela Cox, who's got 19 on the evening.
Michaela Cox has all the experience in the world in these situations. 2-point ball game, 41.3. Both teams still have their Sky City player timeout as well. Keep an eye on that because strategy now comes into it, given that both teams can go to that player timeout if they need to.
Of course, on the regular timeouts, the Hoiho still have 1. I believe the Kahu have 2 left in this one, so plenty of chance for discussion on made baskets.
Both teams in the bonus.
Both teams in the bonus.
What a great game of Tauihi here tonight.
How about the Hoiho?
Just have not gone away, have they?
I mean, down double digits multiple times. And without their best player who doesn't look to be returning into this ball game. But we'll see. We'll see. She's moved from the end of the bench to the close end of the bench to the coach, so maybe she's still a chance.
Here we go. Can the Kahu put this one to bed? Finally. Chance for a steal. Wolf keeps it alive. Tapia, corner, Michaela Cox, we called her out. There you go.
Michaela Cox.
There you go.
Patient offense there. I love the double from the Hoiho to try and force a steal when Crystal Ledger Walker had it. But a great attack out of it. Madison Wolf as the pressure release valve. Gets it to Talia Tapia. The defense rushes her. She doesn't force the shot. Instead, by Michaela Cox in the corner. The late closeout can't affect the jumper. Michaela Cox may have just put this game in the chili bin.
Well, you posed the question, Casey, the go-to in this sort of situation.
Yeah, and it was more of a reaction to the defense shown by the Hoiho. They were blitzing around out of there after the double, trying to find an answer. With just 27 seconds, just under 27 seconds left. Can they dig deep one more time? They're absolutely got to have a three on this possession. Possibly a really quick two and a foul right away if you don't get the turnover, but without a three, it becomes pretty unrealistic from here.
22 in the game tonight for Michaela Cox. 5 of 12, 10 of 11 from the Racine.
A couple of rebounds, 4 assists as well. Doing it all. Those 4 assists leading the Kāhu. How about Elena Snyder, 32 points, 8 assists. Madison Wolf, 13 rebounds.
There's been some big performances, hasn't there? 26.7. Just a reminder, both teams still have their Sky City player timeout. Will it come into play here? 5-point margin. Dugan's got to get it in here. She does to Zoe Richards under pressure straight away. Somehow gets it to Dugan inside to the corner. Rusk dribbling through, floats it up. That's going to be a miss. She'll get back after it. Loose ball. And it's come off a foot.
Kickball called, stays with the Hoiho. So not a great result. Blew up a bit of time there, but another opportunity. Now it's imperative to get a three-point shot up nearly immediately. And then you're going to have to foul right away. We've seen this play before. Before it was Snyder popping left. This time I think it might be Dugan popping to the right side of the court.
Either that or Gallagher may be the target. Dugan does pop one side. It goes all the way back to Richards. The Kāhu were awake to that. Gallagher for 3, off the front of the ring. That should just about do it. They've now got to go after Talia Tapia.
I do appreciate the fire that Talia Tapia plays with. My ball, she says. I've got it. You can't have it.
Well, I think after the Hoiho's previous 2 games, Casey, 2 27-point losses, the questions were being asked of the Southern Hoiho, and it's going to be hard for them to get this one here tonight from this position, but gee, they go away, no doubt, having impressed a lot of onlookers.
They dug deep today, and very nearly pulled this one off. I really was impressed by the fact that, you know, they regardless of how big the lead was, they never really stopped pushing, never stopped executing what they needed to do, as Talia Tapia ices this one with 7 seconds to go. Got a timeout to the Hoiho. They're going to move the ball up the court to save the clock, but 7 points down with 7 seconds to go. This would be the stuff of miracles. But, you know, miracles happen.
I was waiting for it.
Miracles happen.
There's Michaela Cox just taking the mouth guard out. What a game she's played tonight. Her huge triple moments ago, just settling things down for the Kāhu.
And when it does come down to it, in this 7-point ball game, both teams have shot 21 free throws, 19 for 21 from the Racine for the Kāhu, and 11 for 21 from the Racine for the Hoiho. That 7-point difference at the Racine, that's the difference in the ball game.
You look at a couple of the younger players over the back there for the Kāhu, Mackenzie Chatfield, Rosalie Dill, Spidiola, Tuolave has come in to this team. I mean, what an experience for those players.
Yeah, it's always funny when you go out there and you see like Vitalia. I played with her dad. He was on my first team, Rob Tuolave. So it's pretty funny watching these kids grow up and now compete professionally. A lot of youth coming up, a lot of youth talent.
On the rise.
Can the Hoiho pull off a miracle from here? They're going to get a shot up, surely, as soon as they can. Dugan now off the left hand. That misses. Cheslick will get a late basket underneath, but that'll be the ball game all over, 81-76. Good win for the Kahu tonight. They were pushed all the way, Casey. Impressive to get home in the end.
Yeah, did really well. Under some pressure down the stretch, doing just enough to get the victory. The Hoiho fought their way back into it, cutting it all the way back to 2. Great effort showed by them, but in the end, the undefeated Kahu, too much on their home court.
So the Kahu remain unbeaten. The Hoiho still looking for their first win of the season. Don't go away. Half an hour from now, it's the Tuatara up against the Sharks. Friday Night Hoops on Sky Sport. We'll see you for more basketball very, very shortly.